Just finishing my exhaling exercises.
Good job, Boo. Good job. I love you, Boo.
I love you too. We on?
I think so.
How's it going, baby?
It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's November.
And it's election day number 3. We got this. We got this. It's in the bag.
Yeah.
It's in the bag.
I just noticed our shades on the camera.
Huh. Coincidence?
Anyways, I think not.
Hello, friends.
Welcome to the Couple Shift.
I'm Maria Aleandra.
And I'm Jules.
And we are a husband and wife team on a mission to shift the way we live our lives and co-create what really matters.
We don't always agree, but together we're figuring it out.
Thank you for joining us. We're so glad you're here.
Oh,
We are so glad you're here.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or Facebook or YouTube replay. Thank you for subscribing, loving, commenting.
Appreciate it. Keep it coming.
Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
These are fun.
Okay, so we are back live this week. We had a couple of pre-produced
we're back live
episodes.
Friday. This Friday. Today.
Right. I mean,
because Monday and Wednesday, I actually I had scheduled physical therapy at the times that we usually record live, and so
we pre-produced.
So we pre-produced those,
and so today we're live again, which feels really good.
And we're done.
And we're done. Ay.
That's me forgetting to hit stop.
So I have a couple of notes here. First,
Tell me.
Let's address the fact that we are all on the edge of our seat waiting for a certain piece of information to be confirmed.
Not? Yeah.
Let's just put that out there. And then
we're going to talk about my shoulder gear.
Let's talk about your shoulder gear. Let's talk about your armor.
I don't know if it's armor.
The warrior armor. I feel like it's every time I put it on you, it feels like I'm preparing you for battle. So basically,
so my physical therapist had recommended me that I get something for my shoulder because he had taped it a couple times. So the situation that's happening is my humerus, the bone in your arm right here, right, that connects, is slowly kind of, because of gravity, being pulled out of its socket, sort of, and that's because of the atrophy that I have in my shoulder. The muscles that are holding the ligaments that are holding it in the correct place. And so he recommended I probably get something like this to help hold it in place a little bit longer, I guess. And I think it's more of a preventative kind of deal, right? So as it begins to slowly descend, it can easily dislocate. Because I'll do some exercises and I can hear it like clicking like crazy, and that's just because it's not in its, anatomically in the correct position, I guess. So it's slow. People that break their clavicles experience this too, and sometimes they'll get shoulder pain and they would need these sleeves and things like that. So that's why we got it. It's a little uncomfortable. I'm continuing getting used to it. And there's times I'm like, I just can't take it. Get this thing off me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's to keep pushing, man. Right.
So how is it?
Oh, and I had these little finger warmers, like 80s leg warmers. So they kind of help keep the pinky a little bit straighter than usual. If not, it would be like really curled up. I don't know. They're literally little finger warmers. And so what's nice is that when I don't wear during the day, I'm still getting a little bit of support of the pinky.
Yeah.
Which is usually the only time I get support of it is when I go to sleep with it, put my whole hand thing on. But at least this lets me do stuff, and it's not too bad. Washing your hands, or if your hands get wet, that's kind of annoying. But besides that.
So I have a question.
Not bad. Yeah.
Where do you think you get the strength and clarity to explain these things the way you do?
Okay, so we've talked about this, and I was thinking about it the way home because Skylar's not here. I dropped him off at my mother's. Thank you, Abby, for taking care of him. Today he didn't have school, and we had his parent-teacher conference, which went really well, and he's doing awesome. Good job, Pablo. And I'm driving home, and actually, this was on the way. This was actually on the way to dropping him off. And I just said, and I've said this before, and you've said this. The only reason I think one of the biggest reasons why, when people say like, why did this happen to me? Or how does this happen to me? Well, because I have the strength to handle it. I have the strength to handle this disease. I have the strength to speak about it and to talk about it and to be okay with all that stuff, even though it's hard. And that doesn't necessarily mean I'm like, yeah, that, I'm falling apart, but okay on the head, it's not about that. It really isn't. But because I definitely feel depressed and feel down and frustrated at times, and I'm sure others who know what I'm going through or who are going through this know exactly what I'm talking about. But I feel like no, it's not going to control me in that sense. I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to talk about this and get it out as much as I can, I guess. You know what I mean, hun?
Yeah.
And so when you ask me where do I get the strength, I don't know. I think I was, because it was kind of like I chose this challenge or something. I didn't. Nobody chooses this. We've talked about this. But where do I get the strength? I don't know. I just have it. I just feel like I have that strength that I'm okay and I can talk about this. Be open about it. And I know people feel awkward when they talk to me about it because they don't know what to expect. They don't know what how to react, or they don't even know what this disease is, which I find crazy still at this point. I've random people have asked me, like either in our neighborhood or whatever, and it's like, so what is that? And I'm like, how do you not know still what this disease is?
Yeah.
Like, really? And it's because everybody thinks, so you just take the treatment and you'll be fine. No, it doesn't work that way, right? And
or they'll say, which is the worst, but you're so young.
Oh, but you're so young.
And it's like,
okay, thanks thanks, Captain Obvious.
Like
I appreciate that you think I look young.
Yeah.
Awesome. Because I am, relatively speaking, right? But that doesn't, it doesn't make anybody feel better. It's like, but you're so young. Yeah, douche. Of course I am. And it sucks. And, but we're pushing. Whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I had did we talk about it last time where I talked to somebody that has it as well? And it was so, just in case, I think I did the last episode, right?
I think so. I think you.
Yeah, but just to mention one more thing again about it was like I was talking with this guy who also has ALS. He was like the people around you that don't understand it, they're so freaking annoying, because it's like, how do you, like, it's that's the harder part, is discussing with someone who's just looking at you like, huh, what?
Yeah.
You just don't get it. And so we shared a lot of moments of like, yeah, dude, I totally get what you're saying. You know what I mean? It was nice. So yeah, but going back to what you said, I feel like I have this disease and I have the strength to handle it.
Yeah.
Not many people can. And, I gotta, maybe in some way I've been chosen for this.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So.
And I mean, first of all, I admire you so deeply. And I mean, I tell you all the time in person, but I get to tell you
that I'm
here,
a warrior.
You're a warrior. And that you are.
You always say it. I love it.
Yes, you are a warrior. And I wanted to ask that because I wanted you to articulate where that strength comes from for you. And I was looking back to see if I could find the episode where we talked about, where I brought up this idea that our souls choose everything we embark in this life. Like, that's part of my belief system, is that we choose into what we're going to experience. And we talked about how you chose like next level, like a challenge, which means your soul is that much more prepared for what's next. And so that's when he says, I chose this, it's because at a soul level, we do. And that gives a lot of peace, because in a world where circumstances are so hard to understand, if you can at least look at it from the standpoint of you're not it's like you are and you aren't a victim. And it's hard, and it doesn't take away the pain, and it doesn't take away the intensity, the excruciating pain and intensity of what we're experiencing.
Right.
But there's this like very strong grounded knowing that, hey, if my soul chose this, then it's because I can absolutely handle it. And I feel as a partner in this situation, I feel very similar. I feel the same. I feel like I chose this. I chose to be here with you.
You are just as strong and most likely probably even stronger than me in so many ways. It's
yeah.
So yes.
And it's so interesting. And I think about this a lot because recently I was reading another, everybody has their own experience. And I was reading another wife of a man who has ALS, very similar situation, young kids, young couple. And her come from carries a lot of, well, she speaks into a lot of the pain that I can, of course, understand, right?
Right.
But the way we deliver the messages are very different. The way I'm delivering the message and the way she's delivering the message. And it's beautiful because it's like the full spectrum of colors. But sometimes I read her stuff and I'm like, wow, there's
exactly
so much
how
pain
you feel
there.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, I can relate to it. And also I see things differently as well. And I'm like, wow, first of all, there's no one answer to this, to how you're supposed to feel. And you get to really trust yourself. And sometimes I think people even wonder, like, how is she so cool about this? And you know what I mean? It's like,
okay.
Or how is he so, like, I was thinking about how we express ourselves in this podcast and everything that we're saying.
And when we talk to people and stuff, how we're
open about it. And I'm like, wow, where does that come from?
Okay, so I think, I don't know where it comes from. It's not that we're cool about it, because we're frightened about this.
Oh yeah,
we're terrified
that's
about
the thing.
This.
It's
let's not get it twisted here.
Yeah.
But we also understand, okay, here we are. What are we gonna do? Sit here and just sulk about it, and do nothing about it, and try to make no. We're gonna enjoy our lives as best as we can. We're going to live now. We're going to focus on now as much as we can, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's no...
You know what causes the most pain, I think, is, well, a lot of things, but there's this piece of comparing...
Thank you for shaving me, by the way.
Oh, you're welcome. You look so handsome. Comparing what could have been to what is. And I find myself all the time having these moments where it's like, oh, wow, you're like in deep mourning, like mourning things that could have been, things that have already changed, things that, all this.
Yeah.
And I find myself thinking, but this is just, it's like this.
Mm-hmm.
And it just looks like this. It didn't have to look different. There can be just as much love and joy and all of it with how it looks. And I think we're so used to having this idea in our head of how something is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest gifts of this journey is this excruciating pain of being faced with this deeper truth that you didn't really ever realize you would have to face, and going, okay, like this is what is, and being at peace with that and being in acceptance.
You posted something yesterday that was really, and I was like, you put it on a story on Instagram. I think you should just put it as a post so it stays.
Yeah.
And we should do this more often, because it's the truth. We're honest, and we're out coming for. She put a picture and a caption on of her trimming my nails, because it's something I can't do anymore. It's I can do it a little bit, but it's very difficult. It's very cumbersome. It's just like putting on my clothes, right? It's really hard. This strap, for example, this thing, I can't, it's almost impossible for me to put it on myself. I've done it. It's not in the right position when I do it. And it takes me like 30 minutes just to be like, come on, get this, and so without her, my days would be a lot, like, I wouldn't get as much done at all, if it wasn't for you and what you do. And so you have posted that picture of you trimming my nails, which was so beautiful. And also I know that sounds weird, right? Trimming nails, beautiful,
Mhm.
right? But it's the bond that we have, and the fact that you're taking care of me, of something that I struggle with,
Yeah.
and you also shaved me. So,
Yeah.
like I said, thank you for that, and thank
Yeah.
you for the trimming. My
I
nails were a
always
little long.
find it sexy to shave you.
Oh, well then let's do it more often then. Huh?
I know, and he'll ask.
And I'll be like, yes,
This is
please.
yeah. This is classic of me, like, babe, can you shave or whatever, and I like will dilly dally and not dilly. It's just
Mhm.
like I get in my head with the things I'm doing, and so part of it is retraining and rewiring,
Oh yeah.
and there's all the shifts that are happening. So yesterday, that moment of clipping your nails, it is really beautiful because it's, and I, part of what I wrote in the caption, and I will put it on the feed, is it's like these little moments that have taken on a whole new meaning, and
Yeah.
they're small and they happen often during the day, and it's these moments when you and I are so present with each other in a different way, and there's so much, I know, emotion in that space, because there's the emotion of, holy shit, like he can't clip his nails and I've got to do it, and also the emotion of, what an honor to help him and be here with him, and also that tender intimacy of taking care of each other, and thinking like, what is going through his head, how does he feel, and
Mm-hmm.
so all of these things in that tiny moment, and I told him, oh, I want to take a picture, I want to capture this, because
And that was a pain in the ass to
and
do.
that was interesting. But like you said,
Yeah.
I really have felt called to share more and more our daily life. It's
Yeah.
like these little peeks behind the scenes of,
I struggle with it, the Instagram and the freaking and the Facebooks and things like that, and not because I'm like, oh, I don't want to put it out there. It's just I don't want to do the work on
because you
making
do
it
want
look
to
nice.
share it.
I
And
do wanna
yesterday
share-
I asked him, I was like, I'm going to take a picture. Is it okay? Is it cool if I post it later?
Yeah.
He was like, yeah. And then I wrote the post and I showed it to him. I was like, is this cool? And he was like, yeah, that's beautiful. So it's going to happen more and more. And I think we're going to get, it's like we're reaching this next phase
Sure.
of sharing. And
Absolutely.
so, yeah, it's
Good times.
yeah.
Mm.
Aw, I love you, boo.
I love you too, honey.
Ah.
It's November. Let's get back to that, because we got through October,
Yeah.
and I've mentioned before, October has always been a month of like stress for me, and I feel like, you know what? We're gonna end this year on an awesome note. I feel.
Well-
right? We're gonna turn this year around.
Oh, completely. It's
Right
already.
now. It's already happening.
It's happened. It
It's
is
happening.
done. It
It's
is
happened.
so.
This is gonna turn around.
So
and, yeah.
I've
go on.
got 3 possible quick topics for you to riff on.
All right. Let's it's gonna be rapid fire.
Are you ready for this? No, you get to choose one. But
Well,
I
then-
have 3 because we have
Okay.
a notes app where we keep ideas for the
Ideas.
podcast as they come up
Ideas.
throughout the day.
Yeah.
Okay, number 1. You got to listen to all of them and then pick one.
All right.
Number
all right.
1. There are multiple sphincters.
Oh jeez.
Number 2, Ben Affleck's tone arms. Number 3, people who move their mouths too much.
All right. No, the number 3 is for later.
Okay.
That's
What are we going with?
We're going with
today?
Ben Affleck's forearms. All right. I got a little gripe with people that read People magazine and look at these websites and things like that, and all you're doing is just you wonder why actors have bloated heads, and the reason why
Or are completely depressed.
or are completely depressed. I saw an article on my feed, whatever, and what is it that I told you?
It was like this is what people are.
Oh, okay. I was like, so the article was like, look, Ben Affleck walks his dog or something with his toned arms. I'm like, what? Who gives a crap?
Like pointing out that his arms
Pointing
were a
out that
little
his
more toned than
forearms are
before.
toned, that he's doing like what is? And so what you said to me was, oh no, that's his publicist saying that, releasing that stuff. So
Oh yeah,
in the end, it's the actor releasing that.
yeah.
It's like, oh, release that and make sure you show my forearms.
It's a crummy machine that Hollywood is built on.
It
to be
is
honest,
sad.
It's very
sad,
the
sad.
smoke and mirrors are very, very, very intense.
And I'm sorry, if you're a
people
person,
don't realize that.
if you're a person that needs this and be like, oh my God, look at Ben Affleck's arms, they're so toned. You're a complete waste of space. I mean, like, let's just be honest here. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing? What? Am I wrong? A little bit? No?
The thoughts shared on this podcast are independent and not related to.
No, fine. Don't agree with me. I think you're. I think you're wasting time and wasting air.
No,
and
I agree.
You're contributing to the high levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere.
Babe, say it. Own it. No, I just think that some people might feel like, oh, but I look at stuff like that just to, like,
listen,
do like mindless. It's like you looking through Reddit at random things.
Yeah, but
that
that's like
make no
memes.
sense.
It's funny, but I'm not.
It's just
someone
it's kind
spent
of similar.
500 words plus writing an article about Ben Affleck's toned arms.
This is
bullshit. Who cares? Why are we wasting our time? I'm sure that author was like, I thought I was, I went to this school, and now I'm writing about Ben Affleck's toned arms. Like, I'm sure they're very sad.
Yes.
Like, this is what I went to school for. This is what I paid freaking $90,000 a year for, is to talk about some. And then, of course, he's wearing the mask on. His nose is like exposed in the mask because he's walking outside.
Of course he is.
His nose is out and stuff. Nothing against Ben Affleck except for his ego. And
the fact that he made a terrible Batman.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. That's not fair.
I know.
He's not bad.
It was the right Batman for the moment.
Well, the thing is, we can go down that hole, but the Ben Affleck, the Batfleck, whatever you want to call him, he at the time was his Batman was. To give a background, it's not a young Batman. It's like an old,
scruffy,
tired. He
pissed off,
he lost
frustrated,
he lost Robin.
not wearing his mask correctly.
Robin was killed, so he's like, whatever. He's going through a lot of stuff, and so that's why he was that dark. Which I thought he did great. I thought he was fine.
Yeah.
You want to say something about the movie and the way it was done? Sure. But himself. So going back to the person himself, if he was like, we need to get a post out of my forearms, or we need to get a post out of me walking my dog,
but
and
see,
say
it's
something
not
nice.
Him. It may not be him.
But if it's his publicist, his publicist also has hey, you think it's okay I post this?
Not necessarily.
He won't. They won't.
This is a machine where they've got to keep feeding attention.
Oh, so like it's like the agents
and they have
the
a
ones
strategy.
That run the actors in the sense
Basically,
of the ones.
they're not actors are for the most part not really calling the shots.
So annoying, man.
This is a
so
machine.
Annoying.
This is like the government. These are machines.
I love how you're whispering about.
These are machines
about
that are built
Ben
with
Affleck's
so many
pieces,
and the people calling the shots are not even in the shot. They're not. They are not visible. These are the puppets of puppet masters. And so
the patriarchy.
We could listen. The patriarchy is to blame for
everything.
Yeah, pretty close.
Pretty close.
Point is, I'm not saying actors, some actors don't have a solid head on their shoulders and are doing good things for the world. And
they probably don't live in LA either.
The majority of Hollywood, just like government, just like all of these big systems are built worldwide. Like it's like a facade.
That's why I like comedians.
It's a facade. And then behind the scenes, there's a lot of stuff happening. And so is it important to play your part in having an opinion about these things? Yeah, but don't get so caught up in it.
Is it important to have an opinion about his toned forearms?
No. I'm talking about in big picture. Like,
okay. But let's focus on what we were talking about. His toned
I know. I got to.
The point is,
I got too philosophical.
Exactly. There. No, let's stick to what you asked.
To the tone on.
Yes. Come on.
Yes.
Is it important? Do we need to see that?
Absolutely.
Do we
not.
give a crap? We
Zero.
don't. We don't. We
Zero.
don't need it. And if you live on that, like if it's like some sort of heroin for you, I gotta see what's going on with Ben Affleck's toned forearms. Then you got,
Yeah.
There's some better.
Sad.
There's some better stories out there to read.
Sad.
I have my guilty pleasures. I like to look at articles about spied cars coming out next year and stuff like that, where they
are these the ones that they cover up?
Yes, so they cover up in camouflage
and
stuff
like,
because people take photos of them. But that to me is cool because it's like, oh, we're getting a sneak peek at something new coming out. Ooh, a sneak peek of Ben Affleck's forearms are coming out after him being stuck in quarantine in his mansion. No, I don't care. I don't care about your forearms. Okay, don't waste my time. Don't fill my news feed with
Right.
crap like that,
Right.
which I get all the time. And I'm like, is it because I accidentally clicked on it? And I think that's what it is. I accidentally clicked. I was like, oh, this guy likes to hear about Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox.
Mhm.
No, I don't care. I really don't care. So stop throwing it to me. And I've
Mhm.
told him to stop sending me that kind of stuff. But it's such a waste.
Yeah.
That to me is such a waste. I don't even know how they still sell those magazines at Publix and stuff.
Right.
You know?
Well, like TMZ. I mean, now those
You know what
magazines have turned into a lot of digital stuff.
Right.
The
But there's still the magazines. There's People Magazine and stuff like that, and it's all the same, or the Inquirers, whatever. I have more respect.
But the
for
Inquirer is more like the Queen of
funny.
England is like, in bed with an alien and things like that.
Oh my gosh,
Which,
that's really intense.
Who knows?
Maybe. What I find more interesting, you know what is a higher level, not a higher level, a step above the articles about Ben Affleck's toned arms, whatever, is the soap opera books, magazines.
Oh, like
because
soap opera digest.
If you like soap operas, then you like that dumb storytelling, and you just and then the soap opera digest just is talking about it or whatever. You know what? I have more respect for you than those who are more into reading about toned forearms.
Yeah.
Because it's because the soap opera is not real. It's a show. You just enjoy it. It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Fine. If you think,
but wanting to find out about what
toned forearms.
Yeah. And all these ones where they take the horrible pictures of the women without makeup, and it's like, oh, she was caught.
They don't do that with comedians, though.
And
they don't do it with comedians. I'll tell you why. Because I've seen comedians, female comedians. There's some that worry about their image, obviously, because everybody's everybody, right? But there are some who don't even care, and I've seen them on Instagram post something, and you're like, oh, she straight up just posted that with her face all oiled up and no makeup or anything like that. It's like she didn't care, and I got so much more respect for people like that.
Yeah,
so much more respect for either people that are in that.
Yeah,
like, comedian or actor or whatever.
It must
just
be
I don't
really,
care.
It must
like,
be
who cares?
really tough to wake up in the morning as the authentic you, go to the bathroom, and then be like,
all right,
I don't even recognize who I am.
Let me put this
No,
plaster
but
on.
it's like you don't even recognize who you are because
you're totally different.
Who you're seeing everywhere is a different version of you.
Sure.
And who you see in the morning every morning or at night when you take off all your makeup, it's like a whole different version.
Yeah.
And that must mess up with your head. That must be
you
jarring.
put on a little makeup, but you
No, listen,
like,
I'm not talking about I think women who want to wear makeup is great, and it's
not
that. It's just when it's this extreme, when you are an actress or somebody in the public eye, and that is your face, that is the face that everybody knows, and that is the face that you know of yourself the most. When you wake up in the morning and you're like, wow, I don't like who is this?
Who is this person?
Who is this? It must do things with your head.
Sure.
When you're not, it's like I can't even show my real face.
Right.
Because there's nothing wrong with wanting to do yourself up and transform yourself, because that's what makeup does.
Right.
But it's like when you're being told your real face is not good enough.
Well, you're telling yourself that. Let's be clear.
Well, no, but for a lot of these actresses, they might want to be like, oh, no, I want to post a real me. And their publicists and their managers and, again, the machine behind. I love you, babe. I love this.
Fire them and then just do it.
And do it.
All I'm hearing is excuses.
All I'm hearing
So, anyways, we got to end this because, we got things to do. Baby,
people to say.
Guys, please rate and review, subscribe, and shoot us some emails. Hit us up. Please.
And a comment.
A comment. I mean,
please.
whatever.
Come on.
Anything.
Even a little happy face.
I love you, baby.
I love you, my dear.
All right, guys.
Bye,
Till
everyone.
Monday.